Okay, we have to clap, everybody. Hold on.
We have to clap. But not right now. Not right now.
Not yet. I don't want to hear myself. I just do it so I can check everybody's stuff and things. Okay, are you ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Did you guys like that?
So much fun. So much fun.
Feels real now.
Did I not do as well as everyone else?
Yeah. Feeling insecure
There's
about my
absolutely
clap.
no way to tell.
All right, ready?
Oh, once more?
Once more. We always do 2, just
We
in
do?
case. Yeah.
Okay.
Every time. All right, ready? All right, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, because we're videotaping this time. That makes sense.
I don't know what's going on.
I forgot.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go!
Welcome back, y'all,
to the That's You podcast.
I am your host, Jordan. This is your other host,
Jordan.
also Jordan. We have 2 more Jordans with us tonight. We're so lucky.
And guess
Is
what?
that how I laugh?
And guess
That sound
what?
like Winnie the Pooh. Guess
what? There's going to be a 4th Jordan. Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, shit. That's actually a 5th
Segue.
Jordan. There's actually a 5th and a 6th.
Shit. Yeah, because he plays
He
twins.
has 2 ports.
Yeah.
He's a 2 port. And
So,
speaking of 2 ports,
We're going to
this one might
start
be a
this off
2-porter.
with a wow, 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 wow. Spoiler alert.
Oh, she shall.
Spoiler alert. We're talking about somebody else take it away.
We have to introduce our guest. We can't just introduce them as Jordan. They're
Yes,
not
we can.
actually Jordan.
The last podcast, we went the whole thing without saying who we actually were.
Yeah, but the people should know.
If they want to know, they have to stay till the end.
Right. You want to introduce the one on the right, and I will introduce the one on the left.
Who's right and who's left?
All right. Respective left and right.
Okay, wait.
Oh, God, Bree. All right. Okay. I'll go first.
okay.
I'm going to introduce the man, the myth, the legend,
Nikki.
the baller. Yeah, right. The owner and proprietor of Wright Live, going on 6 years now.
6 years.
Can you believe that shit?
yeah.
Congratulations, man. That's
Thank
ballers,
you.
too.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. This is Brandon Wright. We shout him
Guys,
out.
How you guys doing?
Yeah. We shout him out damn near every podcast because he's earned it. He is our most loyal listener. Maybe second most loyal
that's
listener.
what I was getting ready to say.
You
What?
guys
were
keep
about to
shouting
get
me
your
out. I'm
ass
gonna have
beat.
to financially contribute to your show.
Oh yeah,
You did already.
He's our.
Yeah, I guess that
what's
does make him a
called?
little cooler than me then.
If you financially contribute.
Right?
I
Become
just
a
spam
sponsor.
you to people who listen.
All right, and then I'm gonna shout out the man, the myth, and the legend,
Oh,
my
yeah.
mom,
Oh
Nikki.
yeah. Nikki, who is so fine, she blows our mind.
Hey,
Hey, Nikki.
Okay, that's literally anybody else besides me want to say what we're doing today.
We gotta say the link tree, babe.
Oh, okay. 10 seconds, go.
No, this is unacceptable. You got to remember to say the link tree
So much is happening.
has got all of our stuff on it, like the YouTube, the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok,
The Twitters, formerly known as X.
X,
And the OnlyFans.
and the OnlyFans coming soon to
Nice.
a theater near
But
you.
we literally only sell fans. We human traffic.
We will human traffic you. If you like too many of our podcasts, we will find you.
And we will sell you.
We will sell you
Allegedly.
quickly.
Not allegedly.
All right. I think that's it. No Florida man today. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one, though, so buckle up.
Yeah, right.
Buttercup.
Perfect.
I hope the mic caught it. If it didn't, I will definitely cut the audio for that just then.
It's too funny.
That was
Oh
so
my
good.
god.
That's
Oopsie
great.
doopsie.
That was so good.
So I accidentally pushed a little button on my iPad and it just informed us all what Florida man was. In case you guys didn't know, it's a meme. That end.
He's new to the iPad world,
My
guys. He really is.
I got an itty bitty boy.
He's got an itty bitty boy compared to mine. You.
Yeah, it is it's much smaller.
Behold.
It's
This is my
11.
baby.
My eyes
Oh,
wouldn't be able to
nice.
handle such a tiny thing.
Yeah.
That's my baby boy.
My boy.
My boy.
Oh, Father, help.
It was the way you wiggled. So for today's episode, we'll be reviewing. I was gonna ask you for a drum roll.
That's your drum roll. Just me choking on water.
We're reviewing the new movie Sinners.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, do that and then come back. So like pause it, go see it right now.
Goodbye your tickets.
And then come back, and then we'll talk.
Even if you have to sit next to somebody.
Even if you have to sit next to somebody who talks the whole time.
Or 3 people that talk the whole time.
Oh my gosh. They were like so in sync that I didn't even realize it was 3 people. But I was like, you know what?
I know that's wrong.
I was like, you know what? This is not my turf at this point. I can't say anything to her. She's going to beat my ass.
This movie's not for you, bro.
This movie is not for me.
Yeah, so does anybody want to give first thoughts on their movie? Nikki, ladies first.
Why me?
Ladies first.
Ladies first, you're the guest. We got to make you feel special.
I like the movie. I definitely thought it was weird, interesting,
Yeah.
almost tribal.
Yeah.
That was the point.
Right.
They gave you a whole tribal backstory in the
mouth.
beginning of the movie.
But I did enjoy it. I did.
Yeah.
Except for that one scene. I hated that one scene.
What scene?
Where he ate
I
that
told
stinky
you.
pussy.
Oh, I don't know.
The conolingus.
No, my God, no.
Colonel Angus.
Oh, the one with the music. That was
Yeah.
actually my like third note.
Yeah.
That
was,
is good. We are going to have a pretty
I understand why that
Yeah.
scene was in there. It was very.
I don't like how they did it.
I didn't like it. I thought it kind of threw off a lot of the movie.
Yeah, I don't like how they did it.
Which part?
Okay.
Where the young fellow was singing with his guitar, and then like everybody from like now, and then he was like jumped
New
into
music
the
to old
movie.
music.
Oh man, that was awesome.
I thought so too.
A lot of people said that, but I didn't like it. I think it ruined the feel of the movie.
Yes, because when he was like first started singing, I was like, "Ooh, goosebumps! Get it, Sammy! Get it,
Right,
Sammy!"
And even when they started introducing some of the
Right.
like other types of music and like even the tribal people and stuff, it was.
But then when they busted out the electric guitar, it lost me.
the
The
electric
heat on the
guitar,
DJ.
the DJ, the twerker.
Yeah, she was twerking
So-
to his like.
At first, I admit, when I saw all of that, I was like, okay, well, why would they throw that into a movie and set in the 30s and in the South? Okay, that didn't make any sense. I get it.
It did
But
make sense.
as
I
the
get it.
scene developed, they apparently filmed that all in one day, or something
One
like
shot.
that. The one
It was
shot,
Right.
like it was an incredible thing.
There were no
and
cuts,
The
yeah.
way it was filmed, it was phenomenal. I love how they go, like the camera just kind of like goes around.
Right.
But like what I dig about it is just it. It really defines what, in my opinion, the history of Black culture and Black music through music. It just was huge. It was a huge
Yeah.
scene, man.
And that's why. I definitely
I
understand
mean, it
why
definitely
they did it.
it definitely
but-
was important to the movie, but I could see how it would throw you off at the same time, like
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it
you're,
was
you're
kinda
not
out of
expecting
nowhere, yeah.
like why is Bootsy Collins here with his crazy sunglasses and a bass guitar rocking out? Like, I was like, wait a minute, but
yeah, and then you
but
got the
like
DJ.
yeah, but,
And then the
but
girl in the back like, oh,
it made
get
sense. It made sense to me why they would do that.
I kind of like was like, because the concept was the devil is always in this music.
Right.
Isn't that kind of like
Yeah.
you know, a little
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
they're saying the devil is in the ancient African music, the jazz, the blues, rock, R&B, all of that. They're like that's kind of foul, but there's like that aspect to it where it's like, well, you see the dangers of like well, it's not even the dangers of the music, but it's just like a reflection of the life that they live.
I think
You know,
you're
the
taking it
blues.
wrong.
Okay.
That's an interesting take, though.
Yeah, but I didn't get that. I didn't get that.
But that was the whole thing. The devil gonna follow you home.
Because the vampire he even said it. I was drawn here. He felt pulled to it because of the magnetism of the music, right?
Right.
But I didn't ever think about the fact that it's like
It's
they
saying that
did
about-
that scene right before. That's when all the vampires hoarded towards that building. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
think
wonder
he
if
said
that's
something
what.
about the music transcending time and space and stuff.
Yeah,
So-
and that's why
yeah.
in the beginning scene, he's like, you gotta put down the guitar, stuff like that. You know what I mean? He's like, put it
Right.
down, let it go,
Right.
stuff like that. But I didn't take it like that. I took it like that's an outside perspective. Like they were like they put it in the movie seriously, but that's how, people have treated their music and things. I didn't take it as like, this is what they're saying genuinely. I took it as like, they put that in there as like a subliminal message almost. You know what I mean?
See, I get what you're saying, and I get what you're saying. To me, I kind of take it more as like they're trying to show you how powerful and the
Right.
music is culturally from the beginning of time too. And they even had they even had some like Japanese and different
Oh, yeah.
Right,
cultures involved. It wasn't just black culture in the
Yeah.
music, but they were showing how powerful the music was that it drew the dead out. I think was what your take on that the devil's in all the music is like, whoa, that kind of just blew a fuse in my brain though.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about that.
That
Yeah.
deep.
Because like there's like it's more so you see it more clearly in like what hip hop does. Hip hop is kind of like glorifying, and it's not even about glorifying. It's just it's just like a reflection of like what they live, what they go through every day, and it's not even necessarily confined to just black people. This is like just like people that live in poverty. I feel
Right.
like
Right.
experience that either drug dealing or just gang violence, that kind of thing.
Right.
And that's kind of like the devil in the music. But they're just speaking about their existence. And Ice Cube got a lot of shit for that when he was coming up like on talk shows. Like, why do you rap about like guns and violence, and why do you rap about drugs and shit? It's like this is just how life is around here sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's just, but obviously that isn't all that it is. There's good times too.
Right.
But I don't know. That was kind of my take on that scene.
Yeah, it's interesting. Straight Outta Compton, also another good movie.
Yeah, very good movie.
Not to.
Yeah. That was Ice
Derail.
Cube's son that played. Ice
Yeah,
Cube.
yeah. I know.
Crazy.
Looks just like. Spit him out.
He was literally made for the role.
Yeah. This is gonna happen. You are gonna make me my $1 million, boy. All that college tuition getting paid off.
Yeah. I get what they were doing with it. I just didn't. I don't know. Like I was getting the chills before they added in like the twerking lady and things like that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
And they-
kind of like the art of it,
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're
It
seeing all this
is.
beauty, and then it's like, oh shit, but that shit happens too, though.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that kind of like objectifying women kind of shit. That's kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really objectifying women. It's women making themselves an object.
I was gonna say it, but I let you say it
Okay.
because I agree.
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
my place, but I agree
Yeah.
with that. Like they in that scene, it was very clear that the women were twerking
Willingly.
and dancing
Mhm.
sexually. They were
purpose.
They were, but they were empowered by it. I felt.
And that's
in
the
that
thing,
scene.
though. It's like there's a whole big difference between like being objectified and like doing it yourself. You know what I mean? Like it makes you feel powerful to be like, oh yeah, I look good, whatever.
Right.
But then when like you get catcalled and stuff like on the
Right.
street, it's a completely different vibe.
Right.
Yeah,
It's the
but-
difference between if you're doing it yourself or if Diddy's telling you to do
You
it.
should be able to.
This whole time,
Forgot.
this whole time, I freaking forgot. For all of you who are only listening to the audio, I turned my lights on.
You turned your lights on?
Yes. They don't know any better.
I mean, we're all Jordan, and Jordan turned the lights on. So.
Boom. Get
All right.
gaslit, son.
All right. Brandon, first thoughts on the movie?
yeah. Now that we've all like had our thoughts on it, yeah, sure. Great movie. I love how it was shot. I love the concept of vampires in the deep south. I love the concept of, just how dynamic the cast was. Like, I'll be honest, like when they had like the Asian store owners, it kind of threw me for a loop. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like, I wouldn't think about that in the Deep South at that time. And these people had a store and they were working together and like they were friends with the two brothers. Like I love that dynamic. And just like the cast of characters was just phenomenal in my opinion, just how they interacted with one another. The two brothers being played by the same actor, like that's dope. I mean, we've seen that before in other movies, but I thought that this was a really cool take on that. I like how they, the dialogue's great. They kept very true to the South, I felt. But I'm going to say this. I like that they did not oversaturate the N-word in that movie. Because I'm over that. Like, Django was like every 5 seconds. That one was hard for me to get through. And I love that movie. It was a great movie. It was cool, fictionalized movie about the South. But, like, this was very tasteful, and I felt it was strong.
It was also Django was a different time period because Django was like when there was slavery,
right?
Versus like now we're
Jim Crow and
years removed.
Yeah,
from
coming out of it. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. True. The times were different, but the N-words was coming out quite a bit.
They were more than just sprinkled in there. They were peppered in that
pepper. If you wake up today, you gonna hear it.
So I actually have a little note here about the Chinese store owners.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. So the reason that there were Chinese people in, the South at that time was a lot of Chinese people ended up becoming, well, not a lot, but like the prisoners, the criminals, that kind of thing, would end up becoming indentured servants. So they would be sold from China to the South or, the slave states, right? But they were indentured servants. And if you don't know, an indentured servant is someone who is paid to be a slave, but they're still a slave.
Basically a slave.
Right.
That's just paid.
And they have like a time period too, right?
And
like
they have a time period.
Yeah,
right.
if they complete their term of service, they get to be free.
Or they could buy themselves out of slavery. If they accrued their money so much together, then you could pay to get your son freed, your daughter freed, whatever have you. So the reason that those Chinese store owners were so tight with the Smoke Shack twins was because, they were already raised, around black people a lot. And the reason that, you remember how they had two stores?
Yeah.
All white, all black. When Chinese people became free, they would open all black or a black only and a white only and then pull money in from both of them.
I did not recognize that in the movie.
Oh yeah, so
happening.
daughter was working in the all black store and mother was working in the all white store.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and
why
then
she came out. Okay, I
Right.
missed that. I didn't see this. Why I need to go watch it again. There's little stuff like that I wasn't.
Yeah, and we wanted to watch it again before we made this, but
Yeah. But that's what was happening.
Huh.
yeah.
Very interesting.
Yep. So that's my little note there about that.
My little note about the store owner is how come that silly, stupid, and dumb bitch let those vampires in?
Wow.
Yeah.
She sure did.
She
She
sure the
was
fuck
like,
did.
"You come in here!"
Yeah.
Like,
right.
oh my god, woman, what are you doing? Like, I
you
didn't
don't
beat
own
her
this
up.
motherfucking place. You can't invite motherfuckers up in here.
Like while we were killing vampires, I probably would have stabbed her too.
Well,
Right.
she literally died immediately.
She was one of the first.
Yeah.
She
Well, I
literally
mean,
died instantly.
But her man was out there.
yeah.
Not anymore. He's not.
Well, no,
she's the
we
one
knew
who
that.
sent him out there in the first
we
place.
knew that.
Right.
I'm just saying her logic. I'm trying to defend her because there's really not a defense for her.
Right,
No,
exactly.
not at all.
She fucked up.
Yeah, she
Right.
did.
It's what she did.
Right. And here's the thing: they could have done that. They could have done that a little bit more strategically, where they were like, "All right, cornbread, you can come inside. Stabby, 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 stab, stab, stab. One at a time." They could have invited these people in,
Right.
and
Right.
then like had the numbers at least,
Yeah.
and because they were like, "All right, now we know you're vampires. Now we know how to kill you. You come in." Come on, pussy. Like,
You won't.
you won't. Right, exactly.
The one thing I did not like about that ending, that close to ending scene when they're fighting the vampires and all that's going on in the melee, is I didn't like how the movie just led you. There's all this story, and it's like you're getting so involved and so immersed.
Right, in
And
the-
then they're like, Vampire melee,
vampires.
5 minutes. Let's get this over with. Everybody
Right.
dies.
It felt like
Get
it all
fucked.
happened so fast.
It was so fast. I'm like, nah, no, wait. Like, no, give me some more. Give me some more.
Right.
But still a great scene. Like
Yeah,
the way
it
it was
was.
shot and the way that like the fights were and everything, how they got rid of them. I don't know. It's hella cool.
Yeah.
And it sucks a little bit that the Native Americans didn't come help them.
That's what I.
Okay,
What
I
happened to
literally
those
have,
guys?
I literally have a note in it that says, "What happened to the Indians?
Yeah. Wait, well, didn't they did.
Where the fuck did they
They
go?"
did something at the very end, didn't they?
Nope.
No.
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 They just
No.
literally never
so
came back.
they literally were like chasing him down, and then they were like, "Oh, it's getting ready to get dark. We're out of
See you
here."
later.
You'd
Right.
think that they would have done some sort of little cameo at the end or something.
Yeah, they
at least.
literally
like them
never
riding up
came
on
back.
horses, be like, "Good job."
Yeah.
And then,
Or they would have been like, "Hey, we're Native Americans. We're super good at tracking. There's clearly distressed footsteps on the sand or the dirt in front of your house. We know this motherfucker's in here, so let's just hike out or camp out in front
Right.
of this,
like, yeah,
this building where we obviously know the vampires at."
we
They were just like, we lost them.
See you later.
literally. Go ahead.
They can fly though.
Do you think there was something weird about them though? Because they
Yes.
didn't cross the threshold of that woman's house either, even though they knew that man was in that house.
Well, here's the thing: is vampires can't enter a house
Without being
Without
invited.
being invited,
Right.
and colored people can't enter a white person's house without
Yeah,
To be
she
fair,
did.
to be fair, she was like,
she had a
"What
gun.
you doing
Oh,
in my
yeah.
water,
She
boy?"
did
Right.
It's
have
not
a
like they
gun.
were gonna bum rush.
being shot. So there was
her.
this magical thing called bullets, preventing them.
You also have to remember that at that time, Native Americans were below even black
Right.
people in
Yeah.
some regards.
Yeah.
They would have just shot him. I was actually surprised that they
That-
went
That
back
it wasn't
and forth.
like open the door, bam.
It's messed up,
And
but
they
like
were Cacayman. Cacayman.
that scene was cool.
I thought you meant cocaine.
You know what I mean? But I was like, there's no way they're letting them anywhere near that. I was surprised they didn't just start shooting.
Right, yeah.
They were outnumbered and
They-
outgunned.
Outgunned, outnumbered.
Yeah.
But that is an interesting thing. Why, if they tracked them to some random shack in the middle of nowhere, how could they have not found them at,
Well, I
Well,
think.
Go ahead.
but yeah. Diplomacy
about
at
to
its
say that-
finest.
This is exactly what got us into this in the first place. This is doing the same thing. All right. So I was gonna say that they can fly. So like maybe tracking a vampire isn't as easy
that's
as like
not
I
what I
had.
was
Right. As I had.
Who can fly?
Vampires.
The vampires.
The vampire like
Yeah, like
he-
one
he,
time.
floated
jumped at,
to get Haley's.
Oh yeah.
And like even the
married, to get married.
introduction scene, like when the vampire first showed up,
Yeah.
he like
Yes.
Right. He
down
was
from-
flying.
Yes. Yeah. And we debated over that for a little bit, whether he was flying or whether they were trying to make it seem like he like rolled out of the
Like a
Native American
carriage or
carriage
something.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a carriage.
Still unclear. Yes, they did.
Oh, they did.
Yes.
Oops.
Yeah, his
was
presence
wet.
on the scene was kind
Same
of.
thing.
Potato.
but like
potato.
not covered.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, it was.
confused about that a little
Was
bit
it
too.
covered?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
where did he come from? Where was he coming from?
Yeah.
I thought
What's-
maybe they were like chasing him and he was flying and then the sun started to come up and then he started getting burnt so he like fell.
Oh,
That's what I was
okay.
thinking
Yeah, they
happened.
were hunting him down, and he was looking for a place for refuge.
Right.
Right. Because he was already
the sun
like
was coming up.
burning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
that's true. Good call.
And I also have another silly little note here that I wrote, but I already know the answer to it because I just now realized. I said, if it was his music calling the vamps, why didn't they show up when he was singing in the car? Because it was daylight outside.
It was
Super
daylight
sad.
outside.
Stupid bitch. It's because it was daylight outside.
Yeah,
Yep.
there you go. There you go.
I literally just realized that as we were talking. I was like, oh.
Good one.
And then the other time where he goes to sing for.
Slim.
Thank you. Where he goes to sing for Slim, they were like, no, don't do that. He was like, no, save it. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they were
were
like
at
out
the
in
train
town.
tracks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tries to like do a little
Yeah.
sing, and he's like, no.
Oh.
That's what made me think that the two brothers were the vampires.
Yeah, I totally thought it for most of the movie.
Yeah.
I did too. And I think that kind of works because they were kind of anticipating a little bit of spoilery stuff.
Right.
So the whole time I'm going into it, I'm thinking like they're the brothers are the vampires. They've come back to this town post, vampirism.
Yeah, that's why they left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
Stuff
was
like that.
immediately debunked in my brain as soon as they were out in the
Outside.
daylight.
Yeah, no.
but
As you can see,
Yeah, yeah, they
the
didn't-
sunlight thing is. I forget about it constantly.
yeah.
That's that whole
No,
sunlight.
that
thing.
honestly, that theory never occurred to me.
I mean, I thought
That the
maybe they were
brothers
like
would have
Blade.
been already vampires.
Blade can go out in the sun.
Yeah, or like what is it?
They're
Blade's
half bloods.
The Vampire Diaries. They have
Half-Bloods,
like
right.
enchanted rings. You know.
Yeah, maybe they had some like force field.
You ever heard of our daddy, Blade?
Oh, so you were half of a half breed.
You a quarter breed.
All right, Brandon. Thank you for your first thoughts.
Yeah, say no problem.
Bree,
No
what are
problem.
Your first thoughts on the movie?
So he sent me into it thinking it was going to be a completely different type of movie than it actually was.
What-
Wow, screaming on the pod.
Well, at least they didn't fart on the pod. Okay.
A toot's better than a scream.
What did I send you in thinking?
I thought it was going to be like more into like black stereotypes and things like that, like more of the like black history. I thought we were going to get more history about it.
Oh, I got history for you.
I got some history
Okay.
from it, but you made me think that it was going to be like mostly that, and then there were going to be vampires. I was confused as to what to expect, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It took me a really long time to like remember names, so I was getting a little
Right.
confused. But that's me with every movie, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yes.
And people.
Yes, yeah, that.
Movies, people, books.
Mostly that. Yeah, no, I was just confused most of the movie, and then I was like, let me just stop remembering what Brandon told me and figure it out.
You just
from
have to
here.
enjoy it. For me, but I'm a real big like history buff and like
Yeah.
Civil War history, like slavery, all that. So like the Deep South is like that's my shit. I want to know everything about it. So I'm immersed in like how did these characters get here?
Right.
Why are they here? Why do the two brothers have money? So like
Yeah.
that's kind of a big deal in the South for
Yeah.
a brother.
100%.
And I just, like the way that the church was in the beginning and the pastor being the dad and how
Yeah.
the family dynamics were, that's what my brain was like. I'm immersed in that. But really, it's just a vampire flick. A really cool
I
one.
knew
set in
almost immediately that it was like a what is that called? Not is it foreshadowing?
foreshadowing.
Yeah, where the beginning scene is also the ending scene.
Right. Because they're kind of, I like how they did that. That was very
Yeah, and I like-
Tarantino-esque.
I like
right.
when movies do that, but I also liked how they did it because it like kept flashing
Mm-hmm.
back and forth. I liked that.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made it more unclear, which normally when you're doing a movie is not what you want.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
But
Right.
like it made it more unclear as to like what that was. But once I feel like once he went back to his dad's the last time before he actually left to go to the jazz joint, I was like, okay, that's the end of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's our surviving man.
Right.
Right.
So once I figured that out, I was like, oh, everybody up in that club is gonna die.
Right.
But it ended up not necessarily being true because Shaq did
Stack.
Stack.
no. Smoke
Smoke.
did end up surviving the night.
Stack and Shack.
I thought it was Smoke Shack. I thought they were the Smoke Shack.
No, they're
twins.
smoke
No,
stack
it's smoke
twins.
and stack,
Stack.
like smoke
Okay.
stack.
All right, this is why we do the podcast,
Did-
so I can learn something.
I don't know,
Literally have a
but
cheat sheet right here. I made my own cheat sheet.
Smoke
I
stack. sure it
don't
is.
think they did in the movie. I'm gonna have to watch it again, but I don't think they got into why the brothers were called that.
Not
don't think
really.
they
And I
did
wanted
either.
to know why. Like, why did they
It's
have these
probably
nicknames?
they're probably gonna make a part two if I'm being
I hope so.
for real.
I mean, that'd be cool.
But yeah,
But some movies don't need a sequel. Sometimes they get messed up when there is a sequel.
right.
Maybe they could get a prequel.
No. Like,
Like
Yeah.
the
Like-
what's
gaining
lead?
of the
What's
money.
lead? Yeah, where how they went to Chicago because they talked about going to the big city.
Right.
How they met. What's
And they
Who is
were,
it?
I believe they were army vets.
Mary?
Okay.
Weren't they?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
they were raised with
They were
Mary,
military,
and they
I
were
think.
raised with Mary.
Right.
Yeah.
Once their father was killed by Smoke.
You almost got it.
Yeah, Smoke killed the father.
So
right?
you've got it all like
No.
dossiered out. What do you got there?
No, but that's just not right. So
He was beating Stack, and Smoke killed him.
I don't think that's right.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Was that mentioned in the
Their
movie?
parents are dead, and Mary's mom treated them.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do believe that one of the brothers did kill the father because
Right.
he made mention of it in the movie.
Okay.
Dang,
Right.
I don't
Because
Me
Sammy
either.
asked
Okay.
Stack what happened to their
Oh.
parents, and he was like, one day I was smart, and I was mouthing off to my dad, and he finally just beat
Yeah.
me so hard that when I woke up, Smoke was burying him in the
That's
backyard.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You are
Yeah.
correct.
I remember
yes.
that scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, you're correct. My bad.
it's okay. It's on video, so.
We have it forever.
Two angles of me admitting I'm wrong. Jesus. That will never happen again.
May
I'm gonna cut it
24th,
out.
10:44 p.m. Bree is wrong.
I'm cutting
Dear
it.
diary.
Dear diary.
She finally said it.
He did. Yeah. Yes, you're
So-
right. And then Mary's mom,
Raised them as their own.
right. But then I think Smoke started dating Mary.
Yeah, he stepbrothered her.
Yeah.
What
Oh
are
no,
you doing,
step bro.
stepbro?
Killing my dad. What are you doing? You need any help with that shovel?
Well, he was like, "You don't want no parts of this, sweetheart." And she was like, "Oh, yes, I do." And he was like all gangster and left her. And then I imagine her mother was like, "You gotta go off and marry somebody
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna raise no, non-virgin."
That's not what I thought you were going to fucking say. I was like, is he going to do it?
Some goddamn hussy.
I looked at him like that. I
Are
was
we
like,
going there
Oh,
tonight?
you thought I was gonna say like a
Lover or something?
snicker licker?
You're not you and you're hungry.
Hot dog.
Jungle fever hadn't been invented yet.
but
They were
Michael B.
working on
Jordan
it. They were clearly working on it.
single-handedly
Yikes.
handle that shit. You want some more coffee, baby?
No, I am okay.
Okay. All right. So that completes your first thoughts.
Oh, was that just mine? I thought you were taking over.
Oh, you want my first thoughts?
Yes,
Yes,
go ahead,
first
baby.
thoughts.
Give you what are your first thoughts, babe?
I hated that movie, and I never want to talk about it ever again.
Okay, and that's the end of the pod.
Thanks, everybody.
Give us
Smell
your
it.
thirst thoughts.
Yeah, go
My
ahead.
thirst thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan was a stud. Got me thirst. No, I mean,
I really
loved
liked how
it.
they cut his hair in that movie.
Fresh.
Yeah,
So fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Very good.
I really liked the brotherly dynamic between Smoke and
Yeah.
and Stack.
And it was
like,
just
that
him.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That blew
it
my
was so
mind.
Isn't that
interesting.
crazy?
Blew my mind.
Like the idea of like lighting your own cigarette. That's kind of that's dope. That's like gangster shit.
Yeah.
They played that out, or he played that fucking that
And that's how
role.
good he was at that.
Right,
He said
right.
that
There's
they
separate
are they.
people in my head.
They,
like, it's
they
beautiful.
really did have separate personalities too. And
Right.
It's like, wow.
Right.
One was definitely the protector of the others.
Right.
You could definitely tell.
One was like more forward thinking. One was more like a wild child.
That
kind of,
Wild
like
and-
That's why his name
Yeah.
is Smoke, 'cause you don't want that smoke.
Well, Smoke was the forward thinking.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, Smoke is the older one, the forward thinking one, and Stack was the one that was hooking up with Mary.
Look here, pal. She's not admitting she's wrong.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
she
gonna-
ain't doing it
it's
again.
not gonna go
Yeah.
again.
I kind of so I admit it throughout the movie I did struggle with which one was Smoke and which one was Stack as
Yeah.
far as who's doing what.
Smoke was the one who like actually like smoked the cigarettes.
Okay.
Like the Stack would like maybe like light them, pass them off, but he wasn't somebody who was like
man, you notice
constantly.
all the small details.
I was.
You no, it's okay. It just stopped at you notice all the small details.
You sure?
Yeah, I just listened back to it.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, because it doesn't feel like we've only been recording for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
No.
we
Feels
have,
like we've-
yes, we've been on a roller coaster so
We've
far.
been here for an eternity.
But go ahead and tell
It said-
everybody that I was right.
No,
Go ahead and everything.
I won't.
Go ahead.
See how it says that you're wrong right here?
Who was dating Mary?
It says smoke right there.
What's that say?
It says smoke.
You better check your
I'm
smello,
illiterate.
fella.
So Smoke was with Mary.
No.
Okay.
No.
No.
Stack was
Stack
totally
was
with
with
me.
Mary.
No, it wasn't.
All right, so you were wrong again, is what you're saying. Right.
That's me gaslighting everybody in the
10:49 Saturday,
So
May
It
24th.
says the disc
Dio
is low. Should I be
Diary.
worried?
It says what?
The disc is
It
low.
means you don't have any space on the.
I mean, it's still going, still kicking.
It's gonna cut off again probably.
You want to dig in there and delete one of the older podcasts so we can.
Yeah, I can
go
do
ahead
that.
and do
Okay,
while
ready
I know.
and pause.
Okay.
Okay, we're kicking again. Sorry.
And we're back.
Sorry, guys.
So we were just talking about how Bree is not wrong, has never been wrong, and will never be wrong.
That's so right.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Now you can put the gun down, babe. Okay. I said it.
I won't. Type shit.
Type shit.
Type shit.
Type shit.
Shout out Landon.
Shout out Landon.
Landy.
Thanks for helping me earlier.
Oh my God, this episode would not be possible without Landon. Let's give a
Yeah, all he
Yeah.
did was tell me to update it, and I was like, okay.
type shit.
Type shit. Type shit.
Landon's the man. What can I say?
Landon's the Mandan,
Landon's the man.
Landon's the Mandan.
and I am demanding that he come on the podcast.
Facts.
That's
Type
all.
shit.
Type shit.
His response would be, type shit.
He'd be like, oh no, man, I'm so busy. I'm so busy making all these moves and making all this money.
Platinum
shit.
records.
Yeah, right. He's too cool for us.
I'm going out of town for something that you're too cool. I'm too cool for. Type shit.
Type shit.
I'm too cool to do it, but I'm still gonna do it because
Out of pity.
those people.
It's
need
like
me.
a church call and response, like, and then let the church say amen. Type shit. Everybody says it together. Type shit.
By the grace of Landon. Type shit.
Type shit.
All right. Yeah, those were my first thoughts. Loved the way that the
Nice.
dynamic of the brothers played out. Obviously, love the music. I feel like
Yeah.
everybody
That one
would get jiggy
song.
with that shit.
That one song. If they would have like done a whole song where it was just like that, I would have been like, ooh,
Where it was just Sammy.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they did. I have to look.
Hmm.
Who knows if they actually released it or not.
Probably not. If it was recorded in such a fashion, it probably remained as such.
So, well,
That
like
shit.
speaking of the songs, so Delta Slim, played by Delroy Lindo,
Hell yeah.
who is one of my favorite actors.
Oh yes, Delroy Lindo.
He's
I know exactly who this
fantastic.
man is.
Also, somehow, I think Delroy Lindo might be a vampire because he literally doesn't age. If you look at his picture now, it's almost the same as when he was in Gone in 60 Seconds.
No, honey, it's because he's black.
Is that what it is? See, now this is the type of shit that I knew you were
Type
going to
shit.
say during this episode that was going to get me fired up. You're going to start dropping some stereotypical
It
bullshit.
is not my fault
Hey.
that, that the skin you have is
Guys.
cooler than the rest
Guys.
of the world.
Type shit.
Type shit.
Black
And the
don't
church
crack.
said,
Black
Yes.
don't crack unless you smoke it.
Well, I mean, look
Hey.
at Samuel L. Jackson.
At any
Yeah,
rate.
he still looks
That's-
good.
That's what Chris Rock said.
Yeah,
Shout out
Samuel still looks pretty much the same.
The
Yeah.
slap heard around the world.
Chris. Oh, for sure.
Yes, I know who
Anyway.
this man is.
So in the scene, there's a scene where he's riding in the car with all of them, and let's see, hold on, I gotta get this right.
Yes, Delta Slim. I knows him.
Delta Slim's with Sammy. Sammy starts playing, and Delta Slim starts singing a song, and it's like this really deep, like almost like Negro spiritual type thing, and it's like you're like, yo, I saw in an interview on Instagram, somebody interviewed him. He improvised that entire song.
That's amazing.
That was off the top. He was like, I was just feeling it in the moment. We're filming about the Deep South, and these feelings just came to me, and he just started busting out in song. I was like, man, that's impressive.
And I love that they didn't take that out or try
No.
to make him edit. Or,
Well, they were going to take it out.
Why?
He said that in the interview. He said Coogler didn't want it in, and he said, no, you got to have that song in there. So they kept
Yeah.
it in the movie.
Because that's so real though.
Oh, man.
It's like.
It hits.
So I actually have a note about that particular scene.
Mm.
You guys remember they were, they're driving in the car. They've accrued.
They were
were going to
riding
get-
down the street in their 6-4. Jacking them bitches.
They were.
smacking the hose.
I think they were on their way to get cornbread. I don't believe cornbread was in the car quite yet, but
Right.
they had driven by the chain gang,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
This? Who that?
no, the chain gang is what happens when you go to prison.
Okay,
and
okay,
they
okay.
put
Yes.
Yeah,
the
the,
dudes
the
who were
fellas on
pounding
the
the
side
road.
of the
I remember
road.
Digging
Right.
on the side of the road.
Yes, I remember
Right.
now.
So Sammy asked, do you know those people? He's like, I know all of them. We all, they were all arrested for vagrancy. You guys know what that is?
Why do you have to put us on the spot?
It's okay. It's okay. I didn't know what it was either until later.
I should. I'm
earlier
45 and know what that is.
Something to do with
Vagrant. Why is my brain blacking out right now? No pun intended.
Oh, wow.
I'll be here all night.
Yeah. So, vagrancy laws were laws that were created to essentially re-imprison former slaves.
Okay.
So what they would do is, like, before the slaves were freed, it wasn't like a jailable offense to not have an ID.
That's what I was. Yeah.
Now
that's
it
what,
is.
Right.
So they made a whole bunch of like very vague laws. I have a small list of them here. So not having an ID, not having a home, loitering, panhandling, like all those things that that slaves or former slaves rather were doing. They made these things illegal so that they could re-imprison these slaves, bring them back into the system. And what they would do is they would use. I'm so sorry, folks. I should have had this off the top of my brain hole. I'm sorry. It's like the convict rental system.
Wow.
I'll find it.
It's like, this is crazy because I mean,
convict leasing system.
Wow.
So do you guys know what that is?
No, I've never heard of that.
So what they would do is they would lease out prisoners to the former slave owners. They would pay the government a fee. They would take these former slaves and basically put them right back into slavery.
That just sounds like slavery with extra steps.
Well, here's the thing. Now that you are a rented slave or through this leasing system, convict leasing system, now you're getting treated worse because they're like, take this guy, work him however hard you want to, bring him back at the end of the day. They're just renting you. If he steps out of line, shoot him.
Wow.
So it was before when you were a slave, it was like, I need you to come to work the next day. I can't kill you. These ones are like, oh, you step out of line, you
There's
look at me wrong one time, blow, exactly.
Yeah, we can get another person in your place.
Right. Which is why he was, that was the whole, was so impassioned in that, in that scene where he's talking about it and then he just starts humming that tune.
Yeah. And here I am talking about how much I love like the history of this thing, and a lot of that I didn't really even know or understand. Like I understood, there were Jim Crow laws and things like that that were literally designed to keep black communities from thriving or forming. But like based off of what you've just read, there's literally no way anyone could get anywhere.
Right. I mean, there was a law called a common drunkard law, so vague that they could just be like common drunkard, vagabond, out, like if you're outcast, like a stalker or a loitering, that doesn't have. But now they've kind of refined those laws nowadays, where loitering is with you're hanging around a place with the intent to commit a crime. And then instead of doing like the common drunkard, it's public intoxication now. Like whereas before it was like, oh, you got a beer in your hand, you're outside, you're arrested, you're under arrest, come with me.
Well, it's like that movie Life with Eddie Murphy. The opening scene is him kind of taking a drink or whatever, right? And he's hanging out, and those cops roll up on him, and then they accuse him of murdering some guy he didn't even. And that's the whole premise of the movie. But it's set. I think it's set in the Deep South in a similar time period. I don't know that for sure. Google would know.
You want me to Google? You got it?
When is Life
He's got it.
with Eddie Murphy set? I'd be interested in what state.
Did you ever look up the coins that you were looking up or whatever?
Oh my God, no, I didn't. I wanted
what were they called? I'll look it up.
Water nickels.
Okay, cool.
But that was just like that was their form of currency because it was hard to get someone to give you some money to earn money back then. This is 1997 is when it was.
And what
was that the wooden ones that the slaves were given to? Okay.
It was set in what time? What time
1997.
period? No, but like when was the movie set? Like
Oh,
The movie is
maybe.
still so new that I literally, like, in my notes, I have how outrageously hard it is for me to find anything about the movie, anything about the cast. Like, half the cast, I can't find them. Like, I don't know who they are.
Right.
Because, like, they're just not on Google.
You rarely do, but
I was making a list, and they weren't on the Googles. How am I supposed to know Google?
I
real
would
quick.
wager that they're
It was set in this exact same year that Sinners was.
32.
32.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. I don't think that's a coincidence either.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Nope.
Side note, I saw some comment on one of the Sinners movie threads that was diabolically awesome. Someone was saying how, I don't know if you've watched the new An Interview with the Vampire. It's basically like the redo of it on Netflix, but it's starring a black guy who comes up in Louisiana in a similar time period. I need to Google that, but they were saying how cool it would be to do a crossover. So that vampire, who's a black vampire in the Deep South, in Louisiana, in the French Quarter, whatever, meeting up with which brother got turned, or no?
Smoke.
No, meeting up with the brother that didn't get turned.
Oh,
Because he's
Smoke is the one that
and
didn't get turned,
they
sorry.
cross over, do a movie crossover would be fucking insane.
Yeah, it would. And this
I can't find anything.
No.
There's literally nothing.
maybe
I
a
can't.
buffalo nickel.
Buffalo nickel?
Yeah, maybe a buffalo
Buffalo chicken?
nickel. I look at my phone. I texted you during the movie, but
It was water nickel, wasn't it?
try buffalo nickel.
Or Interview with the Vampire. What are you looking up?
So it was the currency that they were using
The
in the
little
bar.
girl comes up. Yeah, that. And the little
Yeah.
girl also,
Paid what's her name?
Annie, I think?
Annie. She paid Annie the the witch doctor or whatever with that money, and Smoke was getting upset because Shaq was
Stack.
Stack
Shaquille O'Neal was in this movie,
because
guys.
Shaquille O'Neal kept taking all this fake money. He was taking the buffalo or the whatever this fake.
I thought it was-
this fake money from people for like liquor and stuff, and they were like, "We're not going to be able to sustain this because we're not making real money that we can then turn and use to buy more liquor and keep this business running."
The wooden nickel theory, exploring hidden details in Sinners on TikTok. That's the only thing that I can find about it. But it's a video, and I'm not going to watch a video right now.
Yeah, no, we'll pass on that.
Yeah.
But I would like to. I wish I had gone into more detail about like the Irish vampires, like the idea.
That's
of, like,
also a thing that that I just found on the interwebs as well. It was explaining the Irish vampires.
Oh, okay.
Why 4 Irish vampires?
Why 4 Irish vampires?
Yeah, I thought they were really interesting characters too. And then the whole song where they busted into song, like I was like, whoa,
Beautiful, badass,
chilling,
scary, yeah,
scary, eerie, but it was like cool.
So here's what I've found. In Sinners, the Irish vampires, particularly Remick, are not just a plot device, but a metaphor for the enduring legacy of oppression and cultural appropriation. Director Ryan Coogler used Remick's Irish identity and the portrayal of traditional Irish music and dance as a way to explore themes of colonization, racial dynamics, and the exploitation of black culture.
That's kind of interesting because the Irish were also super oppressed, during that time period, and they were one of the first peoples to like start, like marrying black people. They were some of the first white people to start marrying black people. You can see now, like in history books, it'll say blacks and Irish need not apply. Which is interesting when you think of it's like Irish, like what? Why?
Right?
Why Irish?
That's always been really confusing to me too.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
I have Irish in me. A little Irish.
My name's Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon. It's an Irish name, apparently. I don't know. I was told that.
I think mom's Irish
Mom
because
told-
she's so short.
Wow.
And where the
Catching
hell
a
is
strike.
my pot of
me
gold?
Yeah,
Where the
right.
hell is my pot of gold
Well,
then?
you need better money management. That's not my problem. Bye. I have lots of. Okay, so I don't know if it's just me, but this movie felt pretty low budget with high end actors. You know what I mean? Like it felt low budget. Like they were in the town one time. They went into only like 2 stores, and then the rest of the movie they were in that barn. You know what I mean? It was like it.
They were at Annie's house.
They went to Annie's house.
Yeah.
They went to the church, but
The church.
a majority of
the
it was
road.
set in the.
Yeah.
the
And
barn.
I think that's why it felt low budget to me is because like they just spent so much time in the barn, which makes sense.
The sawmill.
The sawmill. It does make sense, but to me it just felt low budget, but it didn't feel low budget in a bad way. You know what I mean? It's like when like a really big musician comes to like a small bar. You know what I mean?
Right, like A-list actors, A-list, so it'd be like, you know,
Right, it's
a
more
big
close
national
and
band coming to
personal.
a small dive.
Yeah.
I kind of get that, what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a bad feeling. Like, it wasn't shot bad. The acting wasn't bad. I thought
Right.
the acting was great. It just felt low budget, but kind of in a nice way.
There weren't these big dynamic, like, scenes where they're, like, traveling. Well,
Yeah.
they
There
drove
was
back
only
and forth
one
on the road,
explosion.
but there wasn't, like, this, they didn't go to different cities and all this
Right.
stuff. I get what you're saying.
I think what you're looking for is it was intimate. Like it felt
Yes.
more intimate.
But
with
that word
the-
doesn't seem right either.
And I think why I felt like it was more intimate, and the reason being because while there were many subplots, there were many subplots in the same building. Like it wasn't like, oh, we're dealing with this person over here, and then we're gonna like shoot all the way across town and have this,
Right.
you know, different story with this person. Oh, well, now that's over. We're gonna go over all the way over here, and
Right, like
it
when-
was all happening, and they were all intermingling and dealing
Right.
with each other's plots
And when
with one another.
Sorry.
Go
When the vampires, you know, were like traveling, we didn't like watch them travel, you know?
Right.
It was like we shot to them.
Yeah.
Why are you knocking on wood?
Oh, they just showed up.
They
at
just
the
showed
barn.
up and knocked.
I got so confused.
Yeah.
Brandon gets me.
Yeah, like we didn't watch them travel
exactly
or
what happened.
anything, but they were just like there, and it kind of felt like it felt more so like you were there experiencing with all the main characters because they also didn't know what they were doing and stuff like that. They just kind of introduced them, and then you met them at the same time as everybody else
Yeah. As vampires.
As vampires, yeah.
as vampires, vamps in the night.
I would have.
Whole
Suckers.
cornbread.
Poor cornbread. Dude.
Dude. My boy cornbread.
Oh
Dude,
God, I'm so
yeah.
sorry, Cornbread.
But he was kind of a cool looking vampire though. He was all like
Yeah.
mangled and just
Yeah.
like kind of scary looking.
Yeah.
That was after the,
Yeah.
you know, after he caught that gunshot to the
Yeah.
head. You know? I wonder if that ever like would have ever like healed, or if he just would have been a man with a fucking
He did.
giant bullet wound.
Oh.
If he continued his life as a vampire.
No, he did.
Because I know.
Well, right.
No,
but
I
if
mean,
you
like-
get a wound before you are turned, you keep the wound essentially, depending on the vampire lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have healed.
Because we
Maybe Mama
saw
Gagnick.
Shaquille O'Neal later in the future. And he didn't have a big chunk of his neck missing.
I think he was wearing like a popped collar.
Turtleneck and chain.
I'm pretty sure.
The small details popping out again.
Right.
I'm gonna have to see the movie 3 more times.
Just wait until it comes out on DVD. That way you can pause and rewind and pause and rewind.
Shaquille O'Neal.
And his brother Smoke Kilo O'Neal.
DVD. I haven't bought a DVD. I'll wait till
Netflix?
Netflix.
Fucking Dave Chappelle. With all due respect, Asian people don't buy DVDs. like it doesn't even make sense. It feels racist, but it doesn't make sense. Like, what do you mean Asian people don't buy DVDs? I guess I get it. I don't know.
Yeah, like I literally can't even find a picture of him in the bar
The
with.
end credits.
Right.
Yeah. the post credit scene. There were a little bit of credits, and then they cut out to that. People were leaving.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
But you don't leave the movie theater until
the
they
lights
cut them
come
lights
on.
on. Right, exactly.
Yeah, they should know better.
I mean, that's every
I didn't
movie.
hear no bell.
I stay until the very, very end.
Yeah.
There's always some cool stuff.
I don't know. I literally cannot.
Well,
find
let's
it.
think. Is there anybody else that like? I mean, I guess nobody else survived. Well, the fucking the original vampire, he was like burning up, and he had all kinds of fucked up shit on his face when he rolled up to that KKK member's house.
Oh yeah.
And he healed.
Yeah, but he DOG.
He was already
That's
a vampire,
true.
though. So
That's true.
You heal. You can do all these amazing things, just can't come in the house.
As a true vampire. Right, yeah, right. Just stop at the front door.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
It
I
just
won't get that.
no.
I
it's-
can
it's
heal myself.
really
I
is,
can
that's crazy.
fly. I can drink your blood. But please, can you let me in the door?
Please open the door
Oh
so I can
my
do all my cool
God.
things.
Open the
I've
door.
got to pay. I need to use the bathroom.
I keep
How many times would that have worked, you know?
Dude.
Yeah, straight
Had
up.
they just been like, hey, like, I know
I gotta take a shit.
I know we can't fucking play music, but...
I mean, it wouldn't have worked until modern day because they had outhouses.
Oh, Truth in the Booth. Yeah.
Truth in the outhouse. I keep seeing all these memes before we saw the movie, and it was like, and I got a little spoiled to the fact that there even were vampires because the way he left that part out when he was like describing it to me. But I was watching TikToks, and it was like how all the vampires and sinners be acting. Hey, cock 'em in. Yeah, come on. No. What, you can't come in the door for? He's like, come on, man, just let me in. Come on. You know me. Come on, let me in. And he's like, no, you can't come in. He's like, let me in. He was like, yeah, literally. That's literally what he did. It was like, and the way
Why are
he
you
was-
acting so strange? I'm cool. I'm cool.
and then I watched it, and I was like, it's so true.
Yeah.
As he was literally like, all squared up. What are you standing like that for?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I was in that situation, I'd have like cornbread in. I'd have been like, my boy.
Hey, what's up, dog?
Yeah,
My
Come
boy,
on
get
in.
in here.
it wouldn't have. Most people would not even give it a second of thought to like, why
Right.
are you asking me all of a sudden?
Yeah.
You've been in and
Yeah.
out all night.
Yeah, that Mama Juju. She knew
Voodoo
what
Mama
was,
Juju.
Voodoo Mama Juju.
Yeah,
She knew what was up instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked Annie.
What was the
R.I.P..
other thing that she thought they might have been? She was like, they're either this or they're vampires.
What did she say? I don't remember what she said.
I don't either.
Man, I really got to watch this movie 4 more
Factual
times.
fact.
Right. I love movies like that, though. Because then, like, it's like listening to a Kendrick Lamar song. You be learning something new every time you listen to it.
Especially me. 'Cause
She says to me all the
still
time,
cannot understand the words.
she says to me all the time, she's like, I'm going to learn
Hates.
Not Like Us. I want to be cool and sing it too.
The what is it?
Haints.
Yes.
Haint.
Evil spirits.
What, and what are they?
Evil
It just
spirits.
says evil spirits, but I will look up a more accurate definition.
And what culture are they named that? Where is that derived from? I'm interested
South
in that.
African folklore. A haint is a term for a restless or evil spirit similar to a ghost.
Excuse me.
Listen, burping on the pod.
Burping on the pod. Burping on the pod.
They kind of seem a little bit formless, or rather, they're just like people shaped.
Haint, so it's like ain't with an H.
It's like ain't with a H.
We'll put a picture up here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Yep, thought they were haints, and I wonder like how much longer until we got ourselves a haint movie instead of a vampire movie. Now, I mean, I guess it's just like a poltergeist.
It'd be cool.
Just a
I'd watch
ghost,
it.
yeah. No, not a poltergeist.
Welcome back, y'all.
This is just straight up not meant to be.
To the
They're
Nazi
fighting over
pop.
poltergeist still. YouTube gang, you got
knows?
the cut.
You can eat a whole dick.
Oh.
But that's, okay, I get what
That's
you're saying, but
that's
poltergeist
exactly what you.
activity.
Yep. Yep.
So something that is similar to the activity of what a poltergeist does.
And I said that.
Which is moving objects.
And
or
that's what
making
I said.
noises.
And that's what I said.
The-
But you were like, no, it can't be because
But
it's a ghost.
The definition that you looked up started with the word haunting, therefore
And now I
implying
changed
death.
it to not haunting because you
That's-
said if I changed
You know
it
what?
to just activity.
AI can make anything sound like
You know what,
anything.
you-
Like, like we don't even know.
You can
Like-
lick my balls.
like-
And we are on the same page with never admitting we're wrong.
Holy crap! I'll admit when I'm wrong, but I'm looking at the definition right now.
Correct.
And I showed you right there. Yeah, I'm right. I'm right.
I'm
so
right.
What is the ghost that possesses you in this fictional, thing? What is a ghost that possesses you? What is that called?
That's a demon.
Yes, she's
That's just a
demon.
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 That's not a person.
That's an entity that is just bad energy.
Yeah.
Made by.
The devil.
Okay.
Right.
That's all.
Allegedly.
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 Created. Yeah,
Correct.
the devil's
He
down
just-
there like allegedly, folks.
He does not believe in the ghosts of
I
any
don't
kind.
believe in ghosts.
Of any kind.
At all.
No.
At all.
Have
Or
you ever
spiritual
seen
hauntings, anything
any
like that.
paranormal
Obviously
activity
not.
ever?
No, and I was
Well, I was just wondering if he's one of the people to try to explain it away with scientific.
Oh, probably.
Stuff.
no. And I was raised on a former plantation in Berryville. So if there was ever going to be like bad energy,
Well, you don't believe, so
Yeah.
you wouldn't see. You're blind to it.
oh yeah,
You have to believe.
Don't believe. You don't.
have to believe.
If you don't believe, you
It's
don't.
kind of
see.
crazy. I
If
want to
you
hear a little
don't
more
believe,
about
you don't
that.
achieve.
Have you ever had imaginary friends as a child?
Yeah.
They are ghosts, my friend.
They are absolutely
They are
not ghosts.
It absolutely is
I
a
had an
theory that
imaginary
when
friend.
children have imaginary friends that they can see that it is.
Oh no, I couldn't
it is-
see. I was fully aware that he was imaginary, and I was a lonely and sad child with no friends.
I had an
I-
imaginary friend, and my brother also saw said imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't you ever heard your name called and nobody was around to call your name?
It was just me.
No,
No,
never.
never. Crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I was like raised, not strictly raised, but I was, it was my grandparents' house. We spent a lot of time over there. Spent nights, for a long time over at that house. Yeah. They are they're the house. And have you ever been to Berryville?
Yeah.
Okay. So Triple J Road, you know which one that is?
Mhm.
So it's the first 7-Eleven that you approach when you're going into Berryville.
Mhm.
If you're like driving towards Berryville from Winchester towards Berryville, the house on the far left corner, it's got a stone wall with a graveyard
Okay.
in it. It's got that barn, big barn, big steel barn.
I think I'm familiar with what you're talking
And then
about.
there's like a pig pen, and then there's also a hen house right there. There's a smoke shack in the yard. They had Duck Fest there one time with the previous owners. Like it was a bunch of like hippies that bought the house, and now it's owned by like a bunch of like conservative people.
Gosh darn hippies.
But yeah, had a straight up cellar for the slaves that we stored potatoes in. So, they weren't fucking with our potatoes or anything. And if they were gonna be there, they were definitely gonna be in that house.
So you can say you've never experienced anything in that place.
Yeah, never in any place ever.
In any place.
Yeah,
No, that's because like something happens, and he's like, "It's just this."
no,
That's what it is.
no.
You just explain it away. You can say that you've never seen anything because you just think it's something else.
Yeah. So if there is a bump in the night or something weird, it's a pipe. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. So you would just think it's.
You guys never had bad pipes? No, like
I've never had bad pipes, but I've had bad pipe.
Wow. Did not sign up for this.
So sometimes I would be in that house and I'd be like, oh my God, somebody is watching me, and I'd be freaking out. And then I'd smoke some more weed, and I was like, oh, I'm just paranoid. You didn't take that joke as I wanted you to. I didn't really have it. I was just making a weed makes you paranoid
Had me
joke.
freaking going.
Yeah, sorry, Charlie's. No, I didn't experience anything like that.
Okay.
I mean, I would wager to say, just as with anything, maybe spiritual activity isn't going to be revealed to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't view things with their third eye or fourth eye, whatever, the same way as everybody else does. I don't know. That's interesting, though.
Yeah.
Huh.
How about you guys?
Yeah. No, I have. I've experienced something that I thought was pretty weird. I was living in a house in Gainesville years ago, and the lady whose house it was, I lived in the basement. Her husband had passed from cancer previously, and he would, she said that he would communicate with the hallway light or the washer. I'm like, yeah, like whatever, man. Well, one night I was there, and the hallway light was flickering like Morse code, like it was saying something. I was shook, son. Like, but I told her about it, and she's like, oh, yeah, it's just him talking. I'm like, so when the washer cuts on at 3 o'clock in the morning at the witching hour and starts washing nothing, I'm good, right? Like, I live right next to that motherfucker. Like, she's like, no, he's just talking. Well, I don't want to hear it.
Who was the man that was talking?
Her husband.
Oh. Why was her husband... Do you think was trapped? He had unfinished
He didn't
business.
want to go away because he
it
wanted
could
to stay
be
with her.
that. I mean, it was a tragic death. I mean, he died of cancer. He was very sick.
Did he die in that house?
I don't recall that, but I want to say yes, but I don't know. I don't remember that.
Do hospitals get haunted?
Yeah, they say they are. Yeah.
I would imagine
Do
quite
you
a bit.
experience that when you're at work?
Yeah,
you don't want that.
The ED isn't quiet enough.
She works in the emergency room.
There's always banter and things going on in the ED. I don't think that if something were to happen, anybody would even notice it unless something like flew off a shelf. Or
So
crazy
if like
that.
a syringe just floated up and started poking someone
Then
in
you
the ER,
notice.
When God dreamed Leviosa.
No, it's Leviosa.
yeah, that'd be a little bit strange. But yeah, I bet haunted hospitals.
It's haunted as hell.
Yeah, there's always stuff going on there.
Pots and pans fly off the shelves at me. Like, I'll set, like, the ashtrays in the middle of the table in the back, and they just come right off. Stuff happens all the time there. And nobody wants to go in the basement. Even people, like, there were people that were like, can I just see what's in the basement? And the cook took them downstairs, and they were like, I want to leave this room immediately.
Wow.
Do we have us now?
Oh, yeah, we're all there now.
All right.
sheesh,
There
welcome
we
We're
back
back
go.
in business. We're back in business. I'm so sorry.
To the That's You podcast.
You
Welcome
were
to
just-
part 2.
You were just telling me about how amazing the last one sounded
Yep.
and whatever, and I'm
Oh
fucking
my
this
God.
one
Too
up.
much praise.
Too
Right.
much praise,
Right.
frankly.
You ruined my life.
No, I got an ego in things. This is somehow not my fault.
We don't know yet, but we'll figure out why.
11:40.
Lim Sim.
Saturday, May 24th.
Sam Lim.
All right. Brandon,
Yes.
you wanted to hit on that buddy.
Yeah, so one of the most important scenes for me as a musician was the end where they're rocking out with Buddy Guy. And I mean, I thought that was cool for multiple reasons. One, it was cool because Buddy Guy is a musician that, like, this generation probably has no freaking clue about.
I know exactly who this is.
Do you? Did
Yes.
you have to Google it?
Nope.
That's cool. but like it was just cool that they threw him in the movie, but still made it as a character. But also,
so you're
I
talking
believe,
about like in the bar at the very end.
Yes.
When
very end.
the one brother and the girlfriend comes back in.
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Sammy. Old Sammy.
It was just cool to have him as a cameo in the movie, I thought. But also, Chris Kingfish was in that scene playing guitar. The heavyset kid who was rocking next to him is a famous blues guitar player. And so that whole scene, I was just like, I had chills. I'm like, man, this is so cool.
Is there any song that you think that our listeners or the people in this room listening to you should listen to from either Buddy Guy or would you say his name Kingfisher?
Kingfish.
Kingfish.
Chris Kingfish, and I forget his last name. I'll have to Google that. Someone should have like a phone that's just on Google, ready to...
Ready to-
Oh, wait, that's your job.
I literally have
She has
Google
so
right
many
here.
jobs.
I literally have Google right here. Guess what? You didn't ask me to Google it, Brandon.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Chris Kingfish Ingram. Chris Stone Ingram is his name, and he's a phenomenal guitarist. He's 26 now, but he started when he was just like a kid. He actually guest appeared in an episode of Luke Cage, which I thought was cool to throw that out there. But yeah, he was jamming next to Buddy Guy, and that whole scene, just like I said, it gave me chills. It was so cool that they like kind of morphed the movie into that. Thought it was funny that, was it Stack that comes in with Mary at the end? Right. He had the 90s box top haircut.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking about vampire lore. Their hair doesn't grow because they're undead.
Really?
So like, just like when they get cut, it goes back because they're as they are.
Right.
So he wouldn't have been able to
Maybe
grow
he
his
got
hair
hair
out.
extensions.
I was gonna
Brandon.
say.
So but this lore could be that. I was geeking.
I thought it was pretty cool how he still had the guitar.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the guitar was smashed to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the movie, he's like playing that guitar.
Definitely went back for it. Yeah, you go back for that one.
Right.
The guitar that saved your life.
Which circles back around to what you were saying, that the evil stays in it. It's like you can't get away from it. It's always chasing you through the music throughout his whole life.
Right.
So in some vampire lore, their hair doesn't grow, and in some it does.
Right.
So
It just depends on the
Yeah.
lore. Yeah.
So I actually found something very interesting about kingfish. So kingfish is a small to medium-sized, brightly colored bird.
Wow.
Sorry.
no, you're not.
I thought I could get through more of it. I did not. It's a cool looking bird though. I love birds.
We'll put a picture right here.
Oh my god. Because I was typing out kingfish and it was like Kingfisher the bird, and I was like, oh, bird.
Bird.
Love bird.
When we're out anywhere I go, what kind of bird is that? Because chances are he'll know.
Not anymore. I feel like I've been like.
Are you a
struggling
bird
lately.
watcher?
He is.
Did you have the little binoculars?
Moving on. I do have a pair of binoculars, but I don't need them. I just climb right up the tree.
Come here, birdie. Let me touch you.
I am your friend. We saw that really cool bird today.
Yeah, we did. It kind of looked like a penguin.
Bird was dope.
It was yep.
Yeah, I wish I knew what bird that was. I should have pulled out my phone and taken a picture. Googled it later.
Yeah.
Fuck me running.
Might
Fuck
be
me
difficult.
flying.
Might be difficult. A little hard.
Well, I was driving. Take the wheel, baby.
Right here. I'll get you closer to the bird.
Take the wheel and take the
Not
picture.
that close.
They totally killed off my girl Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of knew in my
And then
gut though that she was gonna die because
Yeah.
she was like, I don't know, just a
She
lovable
literally
character.
just was like, if I get bitten, you better fucking kill me.
Yeah. Well, I knew. Well, I didn't. I'm not gonna say I knew, but I felt that everyone was gonna die except for Sammy because of
Because he
The
made it
beginning.
back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought both brothers were gonna die too.
Yeah.
So it was interesting.
Technically,
that
they
kept...
did.
That's what he's saying.
Well, one of
Oh,
them survived the night.
That's right. That's
But
right.
he
and
did
then
die.
He
But
died.
he did die.
right
Yeah.
after. That's right. But
And
After
then
he killed all those Caymans.
Right. And then Shaquille O'Neal just lived on through vampirism.
Yeah. So did he really live on? He surely walked on.
Yeah. He unlived on.
He was undeaded
He
upon.
undeaded.
He undeaded upon the earth
Right.
as a vampire.
And I felt when I went in that movie, I thought I was gonna dislike Haley Steinfeld's Seinfeld, Mary. I thought I was gonna dislike her character because that like clip was going on with like, well then you licked my coos so hard and you fucked me raw.
Yeah.
Like whatever that was. It was so cringy when I was watching
She
it.
was drunk.
I thought it was good.
I don't know why.
I was like,
I don't know why, but some of those scenes
Word?
made me blush. I must be
say it
getting old.
again.
I don't know. Me too. I was like sitting there like next to all these people, and the one lady next to me was like, "Come on now," and I was like, "Okay," and she's like, "Wee." I'm like, and he's like performing the cunnilingus, and she's like, "I know that's right." I'm like,
So
"Oh."
I liked that part, but when I was sitting in the theater watching it, my reaction was the same as the brothers. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, town.
Simmer down, bitch.
You're going to get us killed.
Bitch, you are white passing in this motherfucker.
I was looking around the fucking theater like, oh, shit.
I was like, I sunk in my seat a little.
I told Hunter that he learned something new that day because a fella, driving in the car just explained the whole thing. This is what you need to do, my
Real
friend.
creepy, like, might I add. It was.
He was helping a cousin out.
He sure was, and now my son has pointers.
Oh, Shisho. I forgot you went there with your boy.
He gonna learn a lot.
He learned today.
Wow.
Oh, that's wrong.
Like I'm in the movie theater. He's like, a month shy of 18, and I'm like covering his eyes. I'm like, stop it. He's like, Mom.
You can look now.
Yeah.
Mom, I know what eating a pussy is.
And now I know exactly how to do it.
Oh my god.
Oh my
So
God. And they were all sweaty at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And even when we watch stuff like even when we just watch like Game of Thrones or something, I'm like,
I mean, back then it was probably very hit or miss whether you should travel down south or not.
Right.
Yeah.
that was the whole point of it. He
Full
was
bush.
I think
100%
he
a
was
bush.
just kind of showing
Sweaty,
that he...
stinky. I haven't
But-
bathed all week because we don't
Right.
have water.
But even again with that, like that part of the movie, and I'm glad you brought that up, is I love how, like, just with the N-word not being super gratuitous in that they didn't go overboard with the sex scenes. Like, they implied a lot of it.
Right.
It wasn't
Yeah. And even the
like
ones
titties and
that
ass
you,
out all the whole movie.
Yeah, and even the
I
ones
love
that you
that they
saw
just
were
kind of
like
kept it.
short
It was like,
clips.
Right.
It wasn't like a whole big drawn
that
out
wasn't
scene of,
what the focus of the movie needed to be.
for some
Right.
reason it felt dirtier.
It did. It really
For
did.
some reason it felt dirtier than just like a normal like.
It's your
Yeah.
imagination
Missionary.
running
Well,
wild.
it's dirty because it was probably 200 degrees in that barn.
Oh my God, yeah. Right. As soon as it starts, you pull up the dress. Everyone's like, "Oh, somebody getting some pussy."
I don't think you should do that, dog. I don't think that's a good idea. Hang on.
Oh my God, I'm gonna need another shot. Look up for this.
Abort mission.
Liquor, I hardly know her.
And another thing is that woman was married.
Yeah,
Yes.
she
That woman was
even told him.
super
and now
married.
she's her name. All right.
No, please.
I was gonna make a
Please.
joke about her name.
Oh, let
Yeah,
us know.
she was Mary. She still is Mary.
No, not that Mary. She was also married.
Character's
Mary
name was
married.
Yes.
Sammy's.
I was
girl.
making a joke about Mary.
Yes.
I was
Oh.
like, that's Mary.
Yeah, very good.
Anyways.
Womp.
Moving on.
Womp.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yo, anyway.
Slow news day.
Yeah.
So she was married, and I kind of felt like they were kind of like shitting on marriage back then, and it was kind of like, oh, you let your girl come to this jazz club, she gonna end up fucking the musician. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure you've had plenty of
We're not.
married women throwing themselves at you.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
We
that's what I'm
fucking-
saying. That's what I'm saying.
I shouldn't have wore this turtleneck.
Do over the
Getting
pod.
hot in here.
I get uncomfortable with this motherfucker.
You have the ladies fawning over you.
No,
Every
I
day.
fucking
That's
don't.
literally a lie.
That's because you look a little meaner than you did back in the day. But I remember when I first started at the Fox, my friend, and you had all the ladies.
You were drenched in pussy.
I literally
Why the fuck does every podcast turn into this?
literally have to stop a lady from borderline sexual assaulting you every shift I work with you.
Yeah.
I literally had to yell at a girl like 2 weeks ago because I was like, if a man were doing this to you, would you be cool with it?
All the twins.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's because they can't they have no couth in that realm, but
He literally texted me
They don't have
after.
any couth in any realm.
Literally none.
so here's the thing. I think legally I should be allowed to wear my gray sweatpants without being harassed.
Legally,
No,
yes.
They're
no fellas
comfortable.
can wear gray sweatpants because
I'm just saying.
When we go out places and he wears gray sweatpants, I'm always on the alert.
yeah.
I'm like, who's looking? I'm like, get down at eye level.
Just
Excuse
unzip
me,
it, and there she
excuse
is.
eyes up. Right.
So what Jordan's saying is, if I lived in 1932,
Yeah.
Deep South, would I be accosted by married women in
wouldn't be
a
safe
hot
in the
barn
house.
and going down on them? The answer is fucking no. I'm not going down. Like
Well,
that's
you'd be
not going to
accosted.
happen.
know
You would
that.
definitely be accosted.
Yeah, and I'd be
There
like,
would be
yep,
no-
well,
no
cool.
downtown
Let
for
me get
you.
on the old wind-up telephone and call up your husband and tell him to come pick up your dirty ass because we're not doing shit. Oh, no.
Help.
Oh.
Can we do a hard cut to that video?
Yeah, I'll put it right here.
Right here. Oh my god!
Oh,
I'll show
wow.
you guys that video after.
You'll
we're done here.
have to send it to me so I can put it
I
in.
did send it to you.
Again.
Okay, all right. Whatever you need, baby. But yeah,
Cool.
you think that you know, you wouldn't be like tempted by the punani if it was being thrown at you by
All
a
right.
married woman?
So here's the thing: we got to look at the character Sammy. What was he? He was in.
He was a preacher's
He was
boy.
he was a preacher's boy, but he was a teenager too, right?
Yeah.
So he was young.
Yeah.
He probably never experienced pussy before.
Right.
So this hot married lady in a hot barn comes
Yeah.
up to him and is like,
Right.
Hey.
Drinking.
but
then he got her
but,
killed.
but she gave him one or two warnings. She was like, oh, it's hot and I've been dancing, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
she
she
was
did.
like hinting, like, no,
Yeah, he's like,
we
"I don't
shouldn't
give a
do this. And
damn."
he's like, I don't give a fuck.
I want to taste you.
That was
babe.
gross.
He's like fiending. He's like,
Yeah, he was doing the most, I think. But
Yeah.
no, the answer is no. I would not. I would have.
I mean, but back
no.
then it was different. You didn't smell smells the way we smell smells nowadays because they were always there.
Yeah.
Man,
no,
You
yeah.
just walk
blind
down-
is what the
Yeah.
first
Walking down the
commercials call
street.
it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good
I don't
morning,
know.
ladies.
Shout out to Afro Man.
That's right.
That's funny. Why everybody keep going out of that barn for? They were like, oh, he's went out there and he didn't come back. Don't worry, I've got him. Oh, they went out there and they didn't come back. Don't worry, I've got him.
You remember that fucking drunk asleep guy that they put outside?
Oh, the one that they.
That was just
yeah.
drunk and
Just
asleep.
drunk.
Like,
And they threw him
Oh,
outside and then they were like, whoop.
whoops.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Maybe we
guy.
should get him back.
Literally just.
Literally didn't. Just shut the door on him.
It was literally just for yucks. That point,
Literally.
like I didn't know that character. I wasn't attached to that character. They were just like, "Wouldn't it be funny?"
Wouldn't it be nice if we throw him outside? Let him all the vampies have a parade.
and another thing I didn't understand, Mary was up in that bitch already as a vampire. Why didn't she just stay up in that bitch?
I was a little
Why did
confused
she
by that
leave?
too when they
Why
when
did
they let her
Stack
in.
leave?
because
Stack leave?
because she literally killed him, and she
Yes.
was outnumbered. So she was like, "Whoop!"
Yeah,
That's-
but she's undead, isn't she? Or I guess they could have staked
They
her.
could have killed her.
But
yes.
they didn't know what she was at that point.
Right, but she figured out so very quickly. They could have just like grabbed her up.
But what's the rule about allowing them in? Like, if she's
Can a
already in there,
vampire-
can she then say, "You guys can come in"?
Let us
I
know in
don't
the
think
comments.
so.
It doesn't. It has to be a living.
Yeah, I don't-
Depending on the lore, has to be a living being.
I thought that
Okay.
the lore was, you have to be the owner of the house or the property in order to let
Okay.
somebody in there.
Some lore is that.
I thought that
There's also a reversal on the lore too. You can ask them to leave, and they magically get excommunicated
Oh,
out.
shit,
like
dog.
they go out the door
they should have tried
against their
that.
will. I've seen
Yeah,
that. I've
that's-
seen that
yeah.
before. That's wild, gnarly.
Yeah, but good. And the reason that Legion Lee,
Mm-hmm.
the reason that she let them in was because they were like, "We gonna go find your daughter." You know?
Right. We're gonna go get your daughter. And
Yeah.
she didn't have much of a choice. I mean, your kid's out there.
Yeah.
You gotta do something.
Yeah.
But they probably already got the kid. That's what they should have done in the part where the vampires are dancing around and like doing
Yeah,
all
they
that
should've.
culty crazy. The kid should have been out there just like standing.
Yeah.
That would have
That would
been
have been
creepy,
creepy
as
as
fuck.
shit.
Yeah.
Way to go, Kugler.
Way to drop the ball, dog.
Don't kill me, dog. You're the best director in Hollywood. Save Hollywood. Keep your movies. Keep your money.
That's real, because like a lot of the shit that's coming out now is just like,
Same old
retellings or prequels, sequels.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah, that Snow White flopped completely and utterly.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of that came like that. Literally, that movie could be the best movie in the world, but nobody gives a damn because the lead actress was like, so confrontational.
She literally was like, I
She was
watched it
splitting
one
the
time.
audience.
I watched it one time. I didn't like it. Like it's old. It's literally like creepy, like all that type of stuff. She was just shitting on.
Who's in it?
Renee something.
I
Something
obviously
with a
didn't
Z.
watch it.
Renee something with a Z. Zellweger.
Zellweger.
Snow White and the Huntsman.
No, that is actually a really
Yeah,
good
that's
movie.
a really good movie.
Oh, that's 2012. Wrong one.
It's Renee Zellweger.
Yeah, Rachel
Rachel?
Zegler.
Oh.
Rachel
We're
Zegler.
totally different
Right.
people, my friend.
you know
Renee
what's so
Zellweger?
crazy?
She is an actress. She played in
is. What is that?
Diary of Bridget Jones.
Yes.
You know what's so crazy is Rachel Zegler. She is not like a bad actor, right? She's a great singer.
Who's Rachel
whatever.
Oh,
Rachel Zegler.
Gotcha.
She was not bad. I mean, some of the scenes were like questionable and kind of cringy. How she was just like all the time, like that was a little
Was
weird.
she Snow White or she was the evil
She was
person?
Snow White.
Snow White,
Okay.
yeah.
Gal
She's
Gadot. She
looking a little
was
rough there.
Okay.
Gal Gadot was actually the evil queen, and her songs were
It's
bad.
just her smile.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Her songs were bad. She's not a good singer. The acting was very cringy.
You saw it?
I did not see it. I've seen clips of it on the Tickety Talks because everybody was ranting and raving about how like Rachel's getting all this backlash, but Gal Gadot was worse. The reason that everybody is thinking Gal Gadot is such an angel and can do no wrong is because she's not doing what Rachel Zegler did. She literally shit on the entire thing.
Yeah, how do you shit on a movie and they say, yes,
That
I'll
you're in.
star in it?
Yeah.
No,
right.
she starred in it and then at like
And then shit on it.
and then shit on it.
Oh.
Disney had like press tours and like interviews and all these things set up for her to do, and they canceled every single one of them because anytime a microphone was put in front of her face, she made them look like an idiot. She literally was like let's be honest, like it was kind of rapey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
There has to be some kind of legal repercussions that they can...
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure they took it out of theaters early, but I could be wrong about that.
well, they put it back in theaters, hoping that this had blown over, and they
Right.
lost even more money.
Right, exactly. So, I'm pretty sure some legal pursuit is happening because of like the.
Defamation or
cost
something.
them money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now
Yes.
I kind of want to watch it to see how bad it is.
I
wanna-
watched
yeah.
some clips of it on TikTok, and it's atrocious. It's
Wow.
terrible.
I'll
And
watch it
like
on Disney
instead of
Plus.
like the prim and proper Snow White that everybody's she like Ariana Grande's it up. And I hated that shit. And I
Maybe.
was so skeptical of Ariana Grande and Wicked because I was worried that she'd Ariana Grande it up.
Which one came out first?
Wicked.
So maybe this was a poor attempt to try to wicked something.
It could be, but I
And
think
it
I've
just-
watched.
Well, it was
I've
filmed
watched
so
her
long ago.
right, and I've watched the videos of like Rachel Zegler singing.
Yeah.
She just sings like that. She just did it in her regular singing voice. She didn't try to like. And I don't really care about. I don't care for remakes at all. If you want to like change the story, like I loved Maleficent, because they changed the story a little bit.
Right.
You know.
Totally.
Yeah, like it wasn't completely changed. They still stuck with the main points of the whole thing.
They made her the hero.
Exactly.
And I thought that was cool.
Exactly. Great twist. I love it so
Yeah.
much. Second one, even better, hands down. Love it so much.
Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen the second one.
It's very good.
didn't know
It's
they
on
had a
Disney
second
Plus. It's called Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
All right, everybody, we're gonna take a little 2-hour break to go watch Maleficent,
And Snow White.
the Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, no. She just shit on the whole thing. It's like the acting wasn't even that bad. The singing wasn't even that bad. But the fact that she was also a trash human being made it that bad, and that's why everybody's like, Gal Gadot can do no wrong, because she just sat back and watched the world burn as the evil lady would do.
Well,
The evil queen would do.
she kept isolating audiences. Like the first big thing that she said was, "Oh, you know, this is not going to be anything like the classic, the original one." So if you were going to watch that movie for the nostalgia, she has just told you, don't watch it.
Right, exactly.
Then she went on to be like, you know, she got political and was like, you know, free Palestine, you know, splitting the audience once more because, you know, just about everybody, you know, I don't know.
Huge controversy.
Yeah, it's a huge controversy. Then, what was that last thing that she did? That was kind of like the...
She has absolutely horrid
She
PR
said-
people. Like,
Oh
the
my
people that are
God,
supposed to be
This was
controlling
all
her
within,
lips.
This was all within
not
like
doing-
2 interviews. I've only ever seen 2 separate interviews of
Oh,
her.
well,
The
maybe
rest
they,
of them
maybe
got
they laughed at her.
canceled.
Well, then there was also the controversy. Peter Dinklage, shout out my man Peter Dinklage, I love you.
Peace up.
A-Town down, but like he really kind of got rid of potentially 7 jobs for little people actors. You know, like he was like,
Oh,
we don't,
yeah.
you know, we shouldn't be casting little people to play fantasy dwarves because it's offensive to us. So instead of casting 7 little people actors that could have came and fucking just balled out, bro, like Brad Johnson, have you ever heard of him, the comedian?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So fucking funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He could have been any of the 7 dwarves, and he would have like balled out. I am sure 100%. I don't know if Disney would have hired him because, you know, he's Brad Johnson. You never see the shit. He's fucking raunchy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it eliminated 7 jobs for, you know, up and coming little people actors that could have like just balled out in this scene and replaced them with, you know, tall people.
Right.
And
That's what
CGI,
they
did CGI, and they just
they
had
did.
anybody, you know,
Wow.
do
That's
the voice act.
disgusting.
Lame.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
and
again,
and
here you
it's
go,
not very
splitting the
good.
fucking audience once more.
It's not
but
very
that wasn't
good either.
Rachel's fault. That was more like a Peter Dinklage. You know, he know not what he do kind of thing. You know.
That'd be like if Angelina Jolie was like, yeah, I don't want to play Maleficent anymore because I think that it's offensive to portray witches on the screen. Okay, great. Well, Maleficent was a sorceress. Like
She was a fairy.
she was a fairy.
She
Oh,
was
that's
a
right.
fairy.
But she had magical powers.
Yes. That's what they did.
Like, they're as tall as her.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
don't like that.
fairies have magic too, so I just completely
She was
dumbed
the fairy.
myself. I did the same thing you did earlier.
What did
I'm
I
gonna
do
write my
earlier?
list of things where I dumb myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
TV. Yeah, no,
Well, okay, then if someone wanted to get offended about fairies because they're a fairy, there we go.
Hey, that's not funny.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Stop it. It's getting out of hand. I know that's wrong.
Oh, I was gonna say it.
All right, well, here's a chance for Disney to do a remake. It can be Snow White and the 7 Giants.
Starring 7 NBA players.
I think they just need to stop rewriting crap. Just
They're
make a whole nother
supporting
movie.
that they
Just
did
make
that
a whole
already.
nother
Yeah,
movie.
they
Don't rewrite what's been.
They did it so right for so long, and it just like keeps going more and more downhill. The only one that I liked that was a remake was Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson.
I never saw that one.
Really,
Yeah, I didn't
I
see
liked
that.
it a lot.
Pinocchio was really good, in my opinion.
Never saw it.
Never saw that one either.
Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Well, Tom Hanks can do no wrong.
Yeah, there's
Word.
that.
Word.
America's sweetheart.
Is he?
Is he? His son says the N-word quite often.
What?
so, yeah.
How do we know that?
Because he's recorded himself
Really?
saying the N-word.
That's
quite
that's
often.
weird.
He's like a wannabe gangster kind of thing. Like
Tom Hanks's kid?
Tom Hanks.
The one, the actor?
Yes. No, I don't. He might be acting now. He was doing really bad before.
Does he have more than one son?
I think so.
Tom Hanks' son, Chet, defends his use of the N-word.
Big bong.
Oh boy. Hold on, let me see the picture of him. I don't think that's the same guy I was thinking. No, he has. That means he has. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Tom Hanks would like
That's
to keep
probably
it that
because
way.
he can't stop saying the N-word.
Or defending it.
Oh, he's a rapper. That's why.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Not only repeatedly used the N-word on social media, but defended its use because he believes it unifies the culture of hip-hop across all races.
Wow.
Respect.
Wow, guy.
Oh, sorry. I mean,
He
dumb
also-
as fuck.
Hold on. He also factored free speech, the civil rights movement, Jim Crow, and a racist justice system into his lengthy contention for universal use of the term.
Yeah, keep that shit on social media, buddy.
Yeah.
You're not
I
going to
mean,
want to say that everywhere.
he can-
No.
You know, there's still free speech. You can use
Yeah.
the word
Yeah.
all you want. There's just
Sure.
You're going to be
certainly
consequences.
There's just,
consequences.
yeah, repercussions.
Eventually, you're going to come across the wrong one. That's
Right.
all.
Yep.
It's simple.
Right.
Keep it real.
And hopefully, it will be a TikTok video.
Oh my gosh, like that girl who got her ass beat and we found it on TikTok.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
There's a regular that goes in the
Yes.
bar and she got her ass beat.
Oh,
She got
really?
it-
For what?
So much so, the greatest part was the end of it. Like the girl done knocked her down like 2 or 3 times. She gets up to go charge her the last time, and the girl just kicked her in the face.
Yep.
Just
Literally
put
just
her leg up into the air and kicked her in the face.
Yep.
Like this
These
is
were
Like,
Sparta.
like Shawn Michaels?
Like this is
like
Sparta.
sweet chin music?
Sweet chin.
Oh,
Sweet
okay.
chin
Yes.
music.
The Hulk Hogan big boot.
very
Oh.
good. Very good. And then
Was
she's
it
suing
straight
them.
up, or did she kind of like kick from the
She
side?
put her knee out like this and just
Oh, she fucking Daniel sunned him.
She's suing. Did you know that? I saw her after the video released. It was me and Tori was like, so what was that video about, huh?
I love Tori. Tori's the one that showed me.
Oh my gosh, I love her so much.
Shout out to
Shout out to
Shout out
Tori.
to Tori.
Tori.
Happy
Yeah.
babies.
So apparently she's suing because it was like a group effort. They were like, hey, come work at this club with us. She shows up, and
they
that
beat
girl
her ass?
starts beating her ass.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, you know,
She
she
That's
didn't say
setup.
what she did though. She didn't say what she did to get her ass beat.
probably everything.
Yes,
She does many things.
she does many things to get her ass beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's Tom Hanks's daughter. Just frivolously uses the N-word, using the Jim Crow for justification.
Oh my god. That's
Jeez. Wow.
okay.
But it doesn't.
The civil rights
Surprise
movement
me.
one sent me.
Right. Martin Luther King died for my right to say.
Holy crap.
He's just using it throughout his rant.
There was a whole episode of the Boondocks about that.
Oh, the teacher saying it? That was funny.
When Martin Luther King comes back.
Oh, that one. Okay.
That one.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
and the teacher saying it, that one was hilarious. That episode was crazy.
Nah, I wasn't even
They
thinking.
say it all the time.
Yeah.
In this, in that,
Yeah.
my in.
He said, can an N borrow a fry? My first thought wasn't, oh, he said the word. He can't say that word. My first thought was, now how is an N going to borrow a fry? Is an N going to give it back? This is the white teacher.
Oh, that episode had me rolling,
it's like
dude.
the episode where Michael gets HR called on him in the office.
Remind me.
It's a Chris Rock routine.
Oh, yeah. Right. Justifying it.
He's there. Yeah, it was like, can somebody reenact what happened and how it could have been dealt with differently so that this didn't happen? It's like HR thing seminar. It's like he got hard, does a you're too hard. And he's no thing. Do this again. And Daffy Duck.
Weird things.
It's all right.
So many things are happening.
Right.
We're not professionals. I'm not good at this.
Daffy
I'm
Duck.
sorry.
The
Paranormal-
ghosties
yeah.
are getting us.
because
They're pissed that we're mispronouncing them and misnaming
It's
them.
the Haints. They're mad. The
Oh,
Haints is mad.
It's the Haints.
The Haints ain't having it.
oh gosh, I'm like, what? I don't.
Yeah.
This has never happened to me before.
All right, I guess we'll cut out here. We've
Yeah.
recorded a lot.
This Mac is like done
Yeah.
with my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot of YouTube exclusives though. Don't forget to check out our YouTube. That's You podcast.
Because
on
this
YouTube.
whole thing, I'm literally like, I'll be doing minimal cuts in that YouTube video. Because, like, you get all the behind. Maybe I'll make a bloopers reel, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
So much fun.
Yeah,
All right.
Fun in the sun.
Well,
Any closing thoughts
yeah.
from anybody?
Oh, you want to do thoughts? Okay.
Yeah. Like, just, you
I
know,
want to go first.
ending
Oh.
thoughts.
Ending thoughts. Thanks for having me on here. This was awesome. Love the movie. Definitely going to go watch it 5 more times
Hell yeah.
and pick up on the little stuff that we missed out on. It was cool.
Yeah.
It's great movie. Highly recommend.
Brandon, you have 10 seconds. Shout out anything you want. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Shout out to everybody.
Everybody.
Look at you split your.
Cut.
No, is there anything you want to plug?
Any things you got going on
any
recently?
events you have? Going on?
Yeah. Check out WrightLiveEvents.com and you can look up all of our shows, flyers. If you need to book a wedding, Wright Live on Facebook and.
He's the hostess with the
parties.
mostest.
Yeah, please check us out.
Little
Showsters.
Debbie up in this bitch.
Big Deborah.
All right, Mom, closing thoughts?
I also like the movie a whole lot. I don't know that I'm going to go see it again because I don't have the ADHD capacity to find the little things. It'll drive me crazy trying to pay attention to the movie that hard.
Because it was long.
Yeah, but I did like it.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It might have been about 20 minutes too long, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why they wrapped up the end scene so fast.
They were
Just
like,
like we're
crap.
doing now. Everybody's
Brandon
got
is
an eye
watching
on
it
it.
so
I
intently,
know, like
I'm worried.
every time he does it, he'll like look up at me because I'm talking, and I'll be like,
He's doing it. Like, he's like,
yeah. Oh my gosh, we've let him in. We've let him in.
He's like, somebody come get me. I was like, why?
That's true. I did come here and do that.
Came in a turtleneck.
Like, I don't know
so
how
you
to
can't
get
see
in the door.
neck
Yeah,
wounds.
right. Somebody send some help.
Let me in.
Yeah.
All right, Mom, do you have anything you want to plug? 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't have anything to plug because anybody that I would plug won't listen to the podcast because they're losers.
Oh,
We don't
baby,
plug the
baby,
people
baby, baby, baby.
You're shouting. You don't plug the people that are listening.
I don't have any plugs to plug.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm boring.
Plug going up.
Plug go down.
You
All
could
right.
shout out Brandon Wright. You could shout out
Yeah,
Wright
shout
Live.
out,
That's
shout out to Brandon Wright
Weird.
and Wright
I'm
Live.
sitting right
Do
here.
it
It
That's
is like
strange.
the most amazing opportunity and honor to sit next to the Brandon Wright.
Wow, man. Y'all are doing the most.
The right
You're the
so
one in a
tight.
turtleneck,
You shouted
vampire.
out twice.
I am not worthy to be in your presence.
Anytime we play D&D and he's a vampire, he's always like,
That's why he was so stoked to be the vampire in the thing
Yep.
there. Yeah.
he was trying to tell us all along.
Sorry, guys.
All right, babe. 10 seconds. Shout anything out. Go.
Right Live. Nikki. She's dope. Christ.
Hey,
Here's
Nikki,
my
I'm
time
so
now.
fine. I'm so fine. I blow my mind.
Hey, Nikki. Hey. Hey.
I'll just go back and sync all of it to those claps.
Right.
Perfect.
There you go. Great.
All right.
Hi, Landon. Hi, Brandon. Hi, Mom.
Yep. Oh, potentially Uncle John. Maybe Uncle
Really?
John's watching. Yeah, he was
You
asking
Uncle
me about.
John?
Yeah, man, I love that guy.
Hi, Uncle John.
Such a
God.
sweetheart.
Hi, Uncle
He's
John.
amazing. I would love to
You
have
are the
him on.
reason won't stop asking me to pull stuff out of my ears.
Oh my God, he's obsessed with magic now. He's like, this is magic.
Yeah, he'll be like, Bree, watch this. Where did that come from? And then he'll ask me after. He'll go, was that magic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out Khalil.
Shout out Khalil. Shout out all.
Hey,
All
Khalil.
things, yep.
Oh, and Sam.
Big
Hi,
Sam.
Sam.
Zach.
Galifianakis? He's not watching.
Starts with a gal, ends with a kiss.
Okay. Every kiss begins with K.
Today.
All right. Anybody have anything to say to the fans?
Love you, fans. Yeah,
Anything to say to the haters?
Fuck you, haters.
Yeah, nothing.
I love you all.
Well,
The haters
yeah,
and
what do we
the
say to the
lovers.
haters?
It's all good.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
no.
what we say to the haters every
We love-
episode.
We love the haters.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Haters gonna hate. Potatoes gonna potate.
What are masturbators gonna do?
Oh,
Wow.
bait. They're gonna go fishing
They're gonna go fish.
because they put the bait on the line and then they cast their lines into the ocean. We're skipping again. We have to go now.
Okay,
Bye.
bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.